Welcome to Transfer Business News with Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana and Poku-Hitzfield. It's another lovely Wednesday morning, and today is the last day before the great day itself, right? Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday. You know, the great man was born on 21st September 1909, man. We miss the man, we miss his spirit, but we know he's here with us. We communicate with him all the time. And although today is not on Sunset Friday, I didn't get a time to change whatever I will change. So you are having an on Sunset Friday in a transfer business and news show. So yeah, and today, of course, it is for the great man himself, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And before I came on, I was playing AI grind like a millionaire. Asumani abana ke wadala shele, still balling, wow with it, still to the city. Ahani amele yake, nekabamu one hele one new one shele. Oh man, I love AI. It's been a while since I listened to his music, but this morning I was going through my archives of Ghanaian music and I came across this song and I'm like, let me use it on the eve of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday. Now, 25th May 1963, of course, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and Haile Selassie. Some people call him Haile Selassie, man, the Emperor of Ethiopia, knew about the importance of Africa uniting as a country under one currency, under one military, under one queen. We need to crown a queen in Ghana, and today we will speak about a likely candidate, and maybe you guys have also said something similar. You know, maybe we will crown the queen tomorrow. And first of all, let us talk about Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah because it is his day, man. Tonight, I'm not going to sleep, man. I'll be visiting places, like 3 places. I'll be visiting rivers, mountains, man, because today is the eve of the great man's birthday, and we want to open a portal for African unity to be now, not tomorrow. No, now. Whatever we've wanted as Black people, it is here and now. The past, the present, and the future doesn't exist. It is an illusion. So if today is the day, man, African unity is making me blossom. I see it. I am in it. I am witnessing something we started. When I was 3 years old, I had this vision. I did my first assignment at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. And when I was done with the assignments, the whole congregation stood and they applauded, kept applauding. Even when I was about to sit down, they were applauding. And I was like, why are these people applauding me so much? But I knew back then I was meant for something greater. And I've been working on African unity ever since. Everywhere the universe has sent me there to take lessons and blessings. Now, I have gone through my fair share of challenges, but who doesn't go through challenges as a human being? I've seen my grandma and my aunts die in the space of a month, and such pillars in my life going like that. I needed something. I needed a spark somewhere. But then we nearly gave up, man. We nearly gave up on African unity. But then it is here. It is now. So Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday is tomorrow. And it's a holiday in Ghana finally. The founding members of African or Organization of African Unity, 25th May 1963, when Haile Selassie and Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah sat down as the founding members of our unity going forward. Gambian Pan-Africanist known as Aliu Ibrahim Machav Joff. I hope I mentioned his name right. He spoke about the fact that if we don't unite our continent, and he even spoke about the Berlin Conference in 1963, telling Africa to unite. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah reiterating the fact that if we don't unite, we shall perish.
Ghana, Guinea, Mali Union has laid down a strong foundation for redemption of Africa, for which we've been strongly fighting.
Ghana, Guinea, Mali,
the nucleus of the great union.
Ghana, Guinea, Mali,
Africa's strongest foundation.
Ghana, Guinea, Mali,
the nucleus of the great union.
Ghana, Guinea, Mali,
has now once been laid forever. First it was Ghana and Guinea, later Ghana, Guinea, Mali. Soon it will be all Africa, the achievement of our greatest ever.
Ghana, Guinea.
Now, have you read books written by Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah as an African in 2023? As an African, as a young child, as the youth of this continent, wanting to move this continent from grace to power and abundance, have you read, how many books of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah have you read as a Ghanaian or as an African or even as a black man worldwide? But yet, you have probably read all the books by Paul, a Jew who doesn't look like you. A letter he wrote to Corinthians, the people in Corinthians, the people in Ephesians, the people in Colossians. I don't look at them. You are sitting in 2023 as a black man, knowing the history of these people, and then you tell me you would rather learn and read books of Paul, the same person that killed millions of Jews. So the self-identification is what is currently seen here. Because people like Cecil John Rhodes have scholarships for black people in Africa. And yet, when you look at who the man is, then we wonder, why is there not scholarships for the Thomas Sankaras of our land? Why is there no scholarships for people like Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, and all these founding fathers of that wanted a united Africa? Where are their scholarships? What have we done to our land, my people? And as the ordained crown prince of Ghana, the Jews will never let you forget about the Holocaust. And yet, when we went to school, we were taught about a Holocaust, not the multiple versions, the crazier ones, the atrocities done to our own people, right? We weren't taught that in our own schools, in our own land. As a matter of fact, we weren't even taught our own languages. We demonized everything that made us us, and we were told to pick on a Western civilization. And now we have gone 800,000 years back in knowledge, in time, to Kush Kemet to bring back Alkebu-lan. Now the kingdom of Alkebu-lan is upon us, my brothers and sisters. Wherever you find yourself, African unity is here. And we will crown a queen in Africa. Because back in the olden days, our queens, Africa herself is a queen. She is a woman. Every race you see in the world came out of a black woman. Go and read about the Anunnakis. And you will see about the first IVF. You see about how they impregnated themselves. We all came from a black woman. And Africa will be ruled by a queen. Now we are going to already pick people on the war front. People who have been Pan-Africanists, who are doing things. Not the cowards in the AUs anymore. So I'm asking you today, How many scholarships does Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah have across Africa as Africans for you and I? What about Jomo Kenyatta? What about Thomas Sankara? What about Patrice Lumumba? Putting his life on the line. This version, this avatar on the line. To make sure we will know what they've done to us. To now come up with systems that will enrich the African and not take from the African. My name is Kwame Nkrumah Bediako-Poku, the Ordained Crown Prince of Ghana. And today, in almost half a millennium, 500 years plus, African women have gone through hell. As a matter of fact, they've gone through hell and they've come back. They've been at the bottom of all the reported and known inhumane activities one can do to people. They've been at the bottom end of it. Our black women have suffered, and we are giving them the power they deserve. Africa is a woman, and we will crown a queen in Africa. Now, we will start from tomorrow, crowning the Queen of Africa, making sure nothing leaves Africa, making sure that all the countries that sat in that conference in Berlin, we close all of them, their embassies, because history will teach you that if you leave them in your lands, while you are building, they will keep destabilizing. So we would rather not have them in our lands, go back to your lands, and when we are done and dusted with a thriving city, with a clean city, clean energy, the kings and queens of Alkebu-lan, then we will invite you back in. But then you need to show us you have changed. You need to show us you regret what you have done by returning everything you stole from the motherland. So when you look at statistics, right, in terms of stats, black women, when it comes to single parenthood, most of us were virtually raised by our mothers, and the system is so bad that it economically enslaves the man in such a way that unless you become a thief in some way or somehow, you can't make ends meet, you can't provide. As a matter of fact, it will be difficult to put a roof on the head of your family as a man. And for a man, that is the ultimate form of disgrace for us, right? So sometimes they leave and never come back. Assuming I'm dead, nobody knows where I am. Because how can you tell me a man will work 8 hours or sometimes 12 hours of his 24 hours in a day for 30 days straight and still can't pay his children's school fees, his children's books? That is what capitalism has done to Africa, and that is what we are going to remove as part of the reforms in Pan-Africanism. Now, in the Akan culture, as an Asante, children from marriages are thought to be or thought to belong to the matriarchy. So in the Akan system, you realize we have queen mothers and kings, but then the feminine energy will always make sure the masculine energy is not going overboard, right? In this world, we all come from a woman. Every human comes from the womb of a woman. And in the womb of a black woman in particular, magic happens. People like Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah are born. People like Okonfo Anoche are born. People like Togbe Charlie, Obavo Romwen, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, all the great African leaders that fought so that you and I can have this conversation today. Why have we divided ourselves as black people and allowed the same people that enslaved our ancestors to divide us. So we were in slavery for more than 500 years. Yet we are yet even 100 years out of slavery, and we have already forgotten where we came from. Our division, what is it doing to us? And our unity, what will it do to us? That is supposed to be the ultimate conversation being had today by the African. But now, probably one person is probably watching a white lady on TikTok on the bed, because that video was shown to over 1 billion black men. Meanwhile, messages that unite Africa, like this one, of course, will be, come on, we know the systems. So all the social media handles or outlets that are restricting truth being told in Pan-Africanism, we are going to ban them and implement a social media handle that will block somebody from twerking and yet increase the reach of somebody speaking sense, right? About marriages, about something important. Because now, when we talk about Western civilization, body shaming, not body shaming, moral shaming, like women, this is what I talk about. We would rather see a woman naked or semi-naked get a lot of views than somebody teaching humans how to do horticulture. So that video will be shown to less people, but yet a video of a lady twerking will get millions and billions of views. So now, when women want to close their body, you have the education system saying, no, you don't need to close all your body. How dare a woman not to show all parts of her body? Because to them, for a woman, she doesn't decide how she wants to dress. And that is Western civilization in a nutshell. So now, we would rather have problems with women covering their whole body than have problems with women wearing short pants, almost like pants. Yes, that is beautiful. That is now the beautiful to us. Right? I said, before our women became this, they were our Hemet Neset Waret. This is a Kush Kemet language. And what it literally means is our deep well of water we go to or attend to when we've been droughted by the desert, the test of the desert, right? I heard this from Professor Kaba, I've forgotten his name, Kaba something. I have his video on my TikTok page. Go and check that video out. So our black women were so important in our societies back then in ancient Kemet. So they were our queens and we protected them. They knew that in order for the man to protect you, there should be a level of control. Now a woman will pick a bodyguard, right? Let's say a celebrity, a female feminist celebrity now hires a bodyguard, and then when she's going this way and the bodyguard says, no, don't go, she will listen to that bodyguard because she pays that bodyguard. But when her husband, her king, she's going this way and her husband is like, no, let's go this way, that is control to her. And that is what feminism has taught our black women, and now they are running from it. They know that in order for me to be the queen I was meant to be, I need that king hugging me at night. When I'm doing my menses, when I'm cramping, I need my king hugging me in bed, just like that. That is all I need for that day. Our Hemet Neset Waret knew this. People think polygamy was a system imposed by men. No. In ancient Kemet, our women made the homes. And they knew if there is only one man and we are 6 here, come on, women, we need to share the man. When you look into science, the Y chromosomes and the X chromosomes, now you realize that nature itself is teaching you that every man is entitled, not entitled. Let me not use the entitled, but this is common math, right? This is common sense. You have gone to school, you know mathematics. You have gone to school and you know mathematics, right? Before you became somebody's wife, you were probably a side chick of one married man. You know that. So when that happens to you, don't be surprised. You've been there. You know the system. As a matter of fact, sometimes what our mothers need to be telling our young ladies is, come on, guys, you will get to a time where you don't want the man around you anymore. Because our mothers do that all the time to our fathers, and you know that. They would rather want to go and stay with their children than the man. So what happens to the man then? Because then you need another wife. You see, we need to go back to who we were. As an Ashanti, right? Our ancestors were so smart, they put things into carvings and symbols. We have the Dinkra symbols, over 400 years old. And we have a symbol called Sankofa. And what this Sankofa does is, it teaches the African that go back to when you were the king and queen and see the system and use it wherever you are, whichever year it is. So we went back 800,000 years. We found the scribes. We found everything. We broke the seals, the portals. Now we have Mansa Musa's wealth, and we are here to create a new Africa, an Africa full of grace, an Africa full of power, an Africa full of abundance. So our Neset, Hamed Neset Waret, gave us the feminine energy of intuition, creativity, compassion, and sometimes forgiveness. Because our queens will be like, hey, you don't do that again. Go. Even if the boy is a bad boy, said then, when you go and meet the queen, the mother of the village, and she talks to you, you become a good boy. Those were our Hamed Neset Waret, right? Because you know your mother. Black women over history have done great, and you need to start learning your own history as a black man across the world. So we've had people or brave African women like Nana Obiya, who is called Queen Nanny in Jamaica. Now, as a matter of fact, her face is on the Jamaican currency, right? An Asante woman who was taken from Ghana as a slave. So the people, or most people in Jamaica, consider themselves as Africans because they knew they come from Ghana, the Maroons of Jamaica, right? And Nana Obiya fought against the British so hardly, so well, because now she took her own element, and the British thought she was using a magic called Obiya, but that was her name. And as a human, we keep telling, as a spiritual person, we keep telling the world that you don't need to look outside yourself as a human being. You are who you say you are. You are a spiritual being having an earthly experience. That is why I am always happy, because I don't know when this body will end for me to take another body and experience this again. Now, some people have been saying that when you are reincarnated, it means you failed. It is an absolute lie. And me, with the level of consciousness I know as the ordained crown prince of Ghana and the scrolls, you can choose to come here again. You can choose to wait 1,000 years. All you need to do is, when you know you are getting to the end, you start creating your new reality. So when you die here, you know, oh, let me wait 1,000 years and come back. Let me wait, or I want to come back again and fight for this. So Patrice Lumumba has manifested himself in so many Africans now. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Likewise, that is it. We have gone back, and now we know everything is energy, and we are manipulating things in the quantum field, and we are waiting patiently for it to manifest in this illusion called the 3D version, called Earth, called whatever you may call it. It is what it is, man. So as I said, Queen Nani, Nanobia fought against the British a lot, and she defeated them and made Jamaica an independent state. Wow. Nana Obiya. Now let's talk about Harriet Tubman in the US. Let's talk about my great grandmother, Ya Asantua, all brave women that fought for you and I to be here today. In 2023, the eve of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday, 20th September 2023. Akwehinkwe ya santua oba besi oko premo anwe waye bi eja yo. Akwehinkwe ya santua oba besi oko premo anwe waye bi eja yo. Okun ehinkun ya santua oba besi a oko premo. Premo is the bomb. Now you know. Now there's a man that said this. I love that man. He talks about history a lot, and I took this from him. Now, apparently, the British, after defeating the Asantis, my people, put a big bomb in the city center in Kumasi, and every 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they would detonate the bomb, showing the Ashantis that the bomb is still there, putting more fear into my people, my ancestors. So now in Chi, when we say Premo Ato, which is now the Ghanaian will think is just a Chi word, but Premo is the bomb. So Premo Ato, every 12 o'clock, the British will bring the bomb, or it was already there, they will detonate it. Then when we hear the boom, it means 12 o'clock. So now, you see, we have lost our language so much that we even believe the word Beye means evil spirit. Beye chrese akrana abeye. Enkrani na ebobo. Na so asamwaja nko a ono no strikers ya was strikers wa Ghana. Na so asamwaja nko a ono etumi abo goals. Ya ko World Cup wa bo goals. In Ukraine na ebo midfield hwe de Asian ene Stephen Apia ne Laye Kistin ne Sulemuntari ye wo mo abeyi wo mo ya abeyifo obi ti say Apostle Engineer Kojosafo oye beyifo wa beyi obi a onko school da otumi ye aeroplane won bi say inti osua wo he wa beyi obonkuma na no chi Bediako-Poku ye beyifo because ma beyi na won so wa beyi ana. So now we have lost who we are. And now everything, every word is scrutinized. Beye in English is genius. So now we will say and be quoting Albert Einstein for being a genius in our daily lives as Africans, as Asantis. But then we will... My people, this is the eve of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday. The kingdom of Alkebu-lan is here. A united Africa. Wherever you find yourself on this beautiful continent, I'm sending you grace. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you peace. I'm sending you power to fight the oppressor's rule. Move into the fifth dimension because the universe is about to clean itself of the recessive gene. Those of you living in your lowest chakras, you are going to go away with the colonialist and the neo-colonialist of our time. It doesn't matter your skin color. If you are a neo-colonialist in mind, you are going. Because in the age of Aquarius, every truth that was hidden under a rock will come into light. We are children of the sun. We are children of Alkebu-lan. Now, when we say we are the children of light, people think it is the color of the skin. No. Children of the light are the children that can stand in the sun without dying. We are the children of Alkebu-lan. So they turn these things to mean everything black is bad. But in your darkness, you grow. As a human, if you will move into a new reality, shifting quantumly here, you need to forgive yourself of the past. And forgiving yourself from the past, it means you need to go into your dark days. The things you have done, you have done, that nobody knows, and you don't want anybody to know. You need to start forgiving yourself. That I did this, but I'm forgiving myself. I'm moving into a new reality. So today we are speaking a lot. And as I said, we are about to crown Dr. Arikana Chihombori, Queen of Africa. Now, I slept and her face kept coming in my dreams this dawn. And I'm like, wow. Dr. Arikana Chihombori, former ambassador of the African Union to the United States. You are already on the front line. Tinubu is not. As a matter of fact, Tinubu, Akufo-Addo, and all our fathers would rather do the dirty works of the neo-colonialists than to see that their brothers are united. They are the only people coming to the party late. Dr. Arikana Chihombori, we want to crown you Queen of Africa. As a mother, make sure nothing leaves Alkebu-lan. The name Africa has suffered enough. We are going back to when we were kings and queens of this world. So, Dr. Arikana Chihombori, I, ordained Crown Prince of Ghana, I speak into existence for you to be crowned the Queen of Alkebu-lan. Make sure your children never starve anymore. Make sure we build farms. We connect this beautiful continent. Make sure in 2050, if we are still alive, go and watch the opening ceremony when Africa holds the World Cup. We are about to close the borders of Africa to so many people after 2023, especially the countries in NATO, the countries that sat to divide us when we were in our lands, basking in our grace, when we were in our lands, basking in our power and love. We've loved you too much. It's about time we start loving ourselves. So we crown you Queen of Ghana, Queen of Africa. I proclaim this and I speak it into the universe. I speak it into the universe. And I create the Queen, Dr. Arikana, who have a Malawian name for a queen, right? When our mother is here, we will have our own languages as the official language. Everybody will be taught, right? I spoke about education in Africa last Friday. Was it last Friday? No, on Monday. Go and check that show out. So I speak into existence. Dr. Arikana Chihombori, a Queen of Africa. And the power you are going to have, my mother, start basking in your grace. Because we would rather crown you Queen than leave this puppet in charge. The Tinubus, the Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addos, the Ouattaras, the Paul Biyas. We in Africa, the youth of Africa, we are giving you power. We are giving you grace. We are giving you everything. We combine this and we create you as the Queen of Africa. Today, I have spoken about it into the universe. As the ordained Crown Prince of Ghana, I give you power, I give you grace, I give you more energy to fight the oppressor and the neo-colonialist going forward. We will start so many things, man. Mommy, we will start so many things, man. The Pan-African system is a way of the African. It's the way of life. It is our spirituality. It is us. It is that makes us stronger and united. It's been a pleasure having you. Or tomorrow is Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday. Man, I want to visit a river. I want to visit a mountain and go and pray there. I want to move. I want to move, man. I want to meditate, man. I want to sit rooted in the lowest form of my chakras, like, let's say, holding the Gyan Mudra, listening to a waterfall. Wow. I wish I could. Tomorrow I'll do that, definitely, man. That will be my holiday, man. I need to do something. I need to visit somewhere, man. It's been a pleasure having you. Let's talk on Uncensored Friday. I'm seeing whether I can bring somebody on the show, man. It's been a pleasure having you. Chichicha. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yenara yasasini. Aboard in demaye. Mojana yenananum shegudi to homa yeno. Drew me anyone so. Say yenye bintu aso. Yenye bintu aso minuanom Ghana for. Ene. Ochina eye papeida. Have you read all Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's books? Have you read them? What kind every na what kind Paul books na? Maybe some Paul Wudini no. What kind or nuni books? Na Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na onubeji e wufri nkwasumu no. One kind book back. Na me kasa men kind book a. Wo se me na me yebefuo. Me na me mpese wo benya heaven. Wa adwene ho. Paul no futu a ofentu ono na abrofo no. Abrofo no. We mu ena yama wo mu akire yen kwan. Enu nti ena yama Ghana ayese. Nti Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah books bebre da no. Last Monday no me ka se mo nko kan books ni bi. What you say? Ni autoba our books be say me se mo nko hwe books a Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ewo. Na mo kenkan ni nyina. Mutu me kan wie a asa na makan Paul letter or trokoma korontifo 2000 years ago. Hey, me my Ghana me say what da o mo didama me dwene ho a me nti ase. Say 2023 Nkrofo aye mobile phone, Nkrofo aye video games video games are becoming conscious and they will phone wo dia wo dwene mpon phone nim e kire wo ka bibi hu mpo a wo be wan say advert eba enne oh my Ghana we hu oh my Ghana it is about time bibi some say your books be Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah books be Rhodesian File, Class Struggle in Africa, Voice from Conakry, Revolutionary Path, Challenge of Congo, I Speak of Freedoms, The Dark Days in Ghana, Neo-colonialism, The Last Stage of Imperialism. What kind sa book in a what kind Paul book no? Paul letter no trokoma korontifo no. Ehu hia wo 2023. Eche Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah books meboa. Na we university. Na ye ka muntie as a theologist. As obi a hey me man Ghana pa de. Me say edru emre a yehia ye ho a. E wo say ye papa ye hu sum. Wo bom asum na ma bogie mu. Na me say ede na ye no. Ye nsore waka. Na chere say ebia nu na be yi o. And then people would rather say obe free Ghana no. Instead say obe ko obe ye nie eye ama Ghana ejina ama yade ye ho no. O person of sare so ma onyanka okoku ne humpo wo ho because odin say okoye made ama broni no ye chen say ne obeko ana say obonkuma kuma ke kasa obe share video no ama edru Ghana fo ama ya sesa ya adwene sa na ya ma ya adwene abalo inti body the autobiography of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah what can you me my Ghana Africa must unite what kind yes say Moses ekoji jiufuo yi efri nkwasum tie okoji wo mu fri nkwasum na wo Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah di oman yi enim Gold Coast enim ato ne Ghana ajiye efri nkwasum esisi tema oil refinery ene ya shede eja ama na esen a obi because of capitalism intino obekra aje papers egu ni bottom na de ebema Ghana fo ye nyina ye ho atoye no ensei Enyama Osagyefo ye de kire me de na na do aye oh my Ghana won baby a yeduru. So we are uniting our continent Africa and Ghana no ye ba be ye niema Ghana no ye be jai mining for 7 years wa me so wu mu se wo mining no we wa ye be so wu mu se wo mining no mo de yenja asase no yen focus on agriculture, horticulture and aquaculture. After 7 years we see ye be fa gold wo from wunim de ye ba be ye be fa ye nananu mo be to e be free form to set it no aye na ma na gold da form na wa fa inso to wi to be da form na wa fa ye ni gold coast no wure fi hwe longitude and latitude na ye da 000 no oman Ghana e wompo ano no wunim se e ha ye portal wunim to me kronkron wa e te Ghana ma ye Ghana tantantan sa no enne me papa agenasari to be free Ghana or to be free no go the evil headquarters now so to me call or to me to call US because US a honor Obia every year or spending $1 trillion creating wars around the world. Wo friend no. You see the people you have become. Everybody. You refi ye hu. Ye won kuasumu mfie enye baako, enye mienu, enye miensa, enye nnan, enye duo, enye oha, enye ahanu, enye ahasa, enye ahanan, ahenum ni echire inkuasumu urefi because enne 63 years ana ediosia miensa mfie ediosia miensa ni a wo free wo sinkuasumu no urefi bebi a wo free bai wayera me man It's Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Day ochina no ponder on knowledge. Mo share video way so many times. Mo fan kire mu nuanom Ghana fo. We are African ni so a na wote brofo a na wa share. Me my Ghana, me the odo na ejamo, me the tumi enyonyam. Very very soon ye be carve bibi say. Am every Ghanaian wona ma na wukita. We e hase na ebu eye insuo any odo. We ye sigil. Ghana ni bia be kita we bi. E bia ye be ni gold. Sa time na gold e fifi ama ya sesa. Ghana ni bia wonam na we kita wa. Afi wonam wiase bebi ahwe se obi be hu se wo ye ohiani ana. Obi e hu se wo ye hiani da. Because who kita wo sigil e ye gold nko a. Won kasampo. Wonam a wonam ankrofo be hu se hey akwa we free Gold Coast ampa. Yen ye heaven no ye jewo asase so ha na me yehu adanse ni me believe say paradise no yehu ahohom konkron no e na ahye me mu nti hom konkron ni na ewo me mu a ene ye paradise no me hyase enne me ntwen emma asafo yehu a enfree soro amagidon echire yehu adanse fo me say munyina modida the ultimate enlightenment no wo religion wo hu da wo anka what sorry waka edwane. It's been a pleasure having you, my guys. Chichicha, grace, power, abundance. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, a visionary leader who inspired millions, who inspired billions, who inspired trillions of Africans. Chichicha, I leave you with grace. I leave you with power. I leave you with love. I leave you with peace. Love again. Love again. Love again. My brothers, Africa's unity is upon us. The kingdom of Alkebu-lan is upon us. And nobody, absolutely nobody can stop it. Mwah!